Hey everyone, how's it going? So last time what we did is get it set up so that it was outputting these posts to the newsfeed. Great, it's working, except from the very obvious issue where the anything to do with the user is undefined. So the profile picture undefined, the names are undefined, the username's undefined, and this error you're seeing in the console is because the profile pic column is undefined. So it's trying to make a call to this address with undefined. So yeah, there's a problem here. Some of you may have been able to tell what the problem was straight away. I think I also mentioned it briefly at the end of last video. But if I go back to the users table, the users collection, I should say, what I'm going to do is scroll across. No, sorry, not the users one. I'm going to go to the posts one, I mean. So I'll go to the posts collection, and you can see that the posted by, I briefly mentioned this before as well, but the posted by is an object ID. It's not a user object yet, so it doesn't have all these properties that we're trying to access. We're trying to access the username, we're trying to access the first name and the last name and the profile pic, but it doesn't have it. Currently, the data we're using to populate this just has an ID, so we need to populate this first. But what we can do is just handle this scenario just so it's a bit clearer for us, because let's say you try and implement something later on and get this, maybe you wouldn't remember that that's why it's happening. So what we can do is go back to our common.js, and we can just do a check right here in posted by. We can just say if posted by dot underscore ID equals undefined. So if the ID field is not found on this posted by, it means it's not an object yet. It means it's just the object ID. So what we're going to do in that case is just actually we'll return alert user object not populated. So this is just going to help us out when we're working with it. And obviously I've just returned the alert, but returning the alert here is exactly the same as if we just put the return underneath. It really doesn't matter. So I just want to do it on one line, that's all. So let's see how we get now. If I do this, you're going to see we get this. And we're actually going to get this a couple of times, or for every post, so probably don't want to be doing an alert there. What you might want to do instead, oh man, there's so many. Yeah, because it's doing this one time for each post. So what I'm going to do instead is console log it. So I will return, and instead of alerting, I'm going to just console.log that. So now what I'll do is go back and refresh this. Oh, it's still doing it. Okay, I got rid of all the alerts. And you can see now we got no issue there, but we do have in the console user object not populated. So obviously we wouldn't want to show this to the user, but this just might help us while we're developing our site, just to know what the issue is. Because if you see this, you're obviously going to remember, oh yeah, I need to populate the user. So anyway, how do we populate the user? Well, it's actually quite simple. We're going to go back to our post.js, the API file. And all we're going to do is after the find line, we're just going to say .populate, and then let's populate the user object, which the column is called posted by. So posted by, oops, I need to make sure I put that inside of the parentheses. So put that in the parentheses, and that alone should populate the posted by column. Now, if we had other things we want to populate too, we could just copy that below and then do some other column there, and then another column underneath. Like we can join these on, but obviously at the moment we just have the one column we want to populate. But we will get more columns later on that we want to populate. So this is a server change, so I'm going to go ahead and restart the server. And I'll go back to here, refresh the page, and then log in. Okay, so now we get all the data we want. So we've populated the posted by field, and it's no longer an object ID only. It's now a fully populated object. So now we've got the profile pic, we've got the name and stuff like that. So yeah, we're all good. That fixes that error. So we are now loading our posts.